Hi everyone. Today I'll be interviewing Shanikyan Rasamanickam, a member of Parliament of Sri Lanka, and discuss his recent visit to London. I just want to find out what you've been doing in England, please.
Yeah, basically, Honorable Sumandir and I had a 4-day tour in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
We met various groups. We met Lord Tariq Ahmad. He's the Foreign Minister for Asia.
Right.
And also we met Tamil diaspora groups and we met Muslim diaspora groups.
Right.
And we have reiterated the need for a political solution in Sri Lanka. Because that is what is important to uplift the economy in Sri Lanka.
Right.
So representing the X generation or Y generation,
Yeah.
I have a responsibility to make sure that Sri Lankan youth need to live in Sri Lanka, and this trend of people trying to move out of Sri Lanka needs to stop. So we see so many lines in front of passport officers.
Yeah.
The reason for that is not because of anything else; it's because that the economy is terrible.
Yeah.
So we need to address that issue, but to address that issue, we need to come to a political solution in the country. So political solution in the country is something that has been unresolved for 73 years, since 1948, which is something that our party has been working on for many years. Our party has been working on for many years. So, we reiterated the importance of a political solution, and also the reason why we met the Muslim community is that in the north and the east, 95% of the population, or more than 90% of the population, is Tamil-speaking people.
Yeah.
So we do have an identity in the north and the east. So this is not a separatist agenda.
Yeah.
We want to live within, like, say, if you take Canada for an example, you have Quebec.
Yeah.
And still that's one country. You look at India.
Yeah.
There's Tamil Nadu, there's Kerala, there's Bengal, there's Gujarat. It's still one country.
Yeah.
But they have the right to exercise their franchise.
Yeah.
With their identity. So we want to live as Sri Lankans.
Yeah.
But we don't want to give up our identity.
Right.
So make again about this, we have had various discussions at different levels. So we met Lord Tariq Ahmad, he's the foreign minister, and then we met different agents in the foreign ministry also.
Yeah.
So we had about 3 or 4 meetings with the government,
Yeah.
and we had about 10 or 15 meetings with the diaspora.
Right. So, what kind of political solution you are looking for, Mani?
So the political solution should be acceptable for all Sri Lankans,
Yeah.
Sinhala, Tamil, Muslim,
Yeah.
but a solution where Tamil people's, genuine quest is accepted.
Yeah.
So we don't want to get into details as to how we want it to be.
Yeah.
It's something that's acceptable to all communities.
Yeah.
So we are never going to do anything that is not acceptable to the Sinhala people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a separate state. So we don't want to tell you this is what we want.
Yeah.
We want to work with you. We want to work with the Sinhala community.
Yeah.
We want to work with the government
Yeah.
to come to a makeable solution.
Yeah. So, have you put that proposal to any government yet?
Well, the government of Sri Lanka has denied us a meeting almost a year and a half
Yeah.
since the parliament convened.
Yeah.
We are yet to meet the president of Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he'll give us a time to meet him, at least now, because now, British ministers want to meet us.
Yeah.
US delegates want to meet us.
Right.
Canadian delegates want to meet us, but our own president doesn't want to meet us. So
Yeah.
that's the irony,
Yeah. So, I mean, you were mentioning about Quebec and Tamil Nadu. So, you like to have a separate kind of estate for yourselves?
No, we want a solution where our rights are respected. We want to be able to govern our people. We want to be able to have our own administration.
Yeah.
That is within Sri Lanka. So one country, but no separation. There's no separatist agenda here.
Yeah.
But the only way that we don't want to lose our identity. So Tamil people in this country are people. We are a people. We are not like we are not like refugees in this country.
No.
So. Yeah, exactly. So when I said Quebec or Tamil Nadu,
Yeah.
the reason why I said that is a structure that has worked. It's
Yeah.
proven,
Yeah.
that Canada can be a country with Quebec.
Yeah.
India can be one country with Tamil Nadu and Kerala and Bengal.
Yeah.
Likewise, we want to be Sri Lanka, but we want our political rights. So this is not something that we want to. The problem is that that this has been used as a tool to separate us. So all these years, we have been separated on the fact that Tamils have been asking for their political rights. So if you think about it, from 1948, that's when we got gained independence from the British.
Yeah.
Till 1978, there was no violence. For 30 years, our leaders, our community, our friends, our brothers, struggled for a political solution through dialogue.
Yeah.
But when that was rejected, that is when the war started. So, the war didn't just start because they had no other. Then the war started in 1948.
Right.
So, when legitimate concerns are not addressed, people tend to resort to violence, and we are against violence. But how long can we keep our people like that for? It's already been 13 years since the war ended. When we can't give a solution, then they resort to other measures.
Janakya, that now when you told me the structure, like even in the UK, so we have Scotland,
Wales, Northern Ireland,
and then and England.
Northern Ireland.
So and we have our own parliaments in these separate areas, but run by one country. Now, do you also intend to have a separate parliament in your area? That if you were to get that?
Well, the thing is, we don't need a separate parliament per se, but we do need an administrative structure that's acceptable to our people and the people of this country.
Right. Now,
so I'm not going to tell you that I want something that's similar to Wales. I'm not going to say something that's similar to Scotland. I'm not saying something that's similar to Quebec. But what I'm saying is we need to have a solution that's acceptable to our people. And the people of Sri Lanka. So when I say people, I mean all my Sinhala, Tamil, Muslim brothers and friends.
Now
everybody should be able to accept that.
I know that a delegation gone to America now, and you came here as well. Now, now, do you want them to kind of push the Sri Lankan government towards workable solution for your problem, that if you have a problem?
Well, I don't think we need to push anybody. I don't think we need to push anybody. Everyone is fully aware of what Sri Lankan government needs to do. So if you think about it, in the height of the war in 2009, all these countries helped Sri Lanka come to a peaceful situation in the country of Sri Lanka. Only on the agreement that all Sri Lankans will be treated equally. But Sri Lankan government is failing to do that. So the government of Sri Lanka fails to do that. People who helped Sri Lanka at the height of the war have a responsibility to ensure that Tamil-speaking people are not marginalized in this situation. So for an example, when the war ended, we don't believe in violence. We don't believe in violence. But the thing is, youth, like I told you earlier, youth took up arms 30 years after we got independence from the British. So, they waited patiently for 30 years. So now the government of Sri Lanka has been given 12 years to deliver what they promised. Mahinda Rajapaksa promised, devolution beyond 13th Amendment. But now they are trying to get rid of 13th Amendment. So therefore, the international community, especially the countries that you mentioned, Britain, Canada, US, they have a responsibility to ensure that Tamils in Sri Lanka have equal rights.
So do your Tamil community in Sri Lanka still think that they don't have their right place at the moment?
Absolutely. Tamils in Sri Lanka are given second-hand treatment. We are treated like second-class citizens in this country. Just look at the president's address most recently. He's saying that human rights illana katte apita puluwan bellen allala karanna. There's no, that's not a secret. We do feel that we are second class citizens in this country. Think about the one country, one law. It doesn't mean anything that even if he had appointed a Tamil person in the first place, that wouldn't have meant anything. But they're not even worried about the optics.
Yeah.
At least they should have thought, okay, we have to make sure that there's a Tamil person in that committee.
Yeah.
Even though that's for a namesake,
Yeah.
he still didn't bother. President of Sri Lanka didn't bother to appoint a Tamil-speaking person onto that task force.
Yeah.
That's the audacity that he has to be able to appoint a task force with no Tamil people.
Yeah.
Is the best example to say that we are second-class citizens in this country.
Right. Did you have the same idea before as well? Because you first contested through SLFP.
Correct.
And
so I was a SLFP organizer in 2013.
Yeah.
I joined President Mahinda Rajapaksa at the time. I was 22 years old.
Yeah.
I joined him on the promise that Tamil people will be given equal place in this country.
Yeah.
But he failed to do that.
Right.
He promised things beyond 13th Amendment.
Yeah.
And going furthermore, I even worked with President Maithripala Sirisena.
Yeah.
But TNA backed Maithripala Sirisena for the election.
Correct. Yeah.
So therefore, when TNA backs Maithripala Sirisena, you naturally think that he's a great person.
Yeah.
So I worked with him also as an SLP organizer, but both these leaders fooled Tamil people. So then you drive just like how youth were driven towards arms and violence 30 years after we got independence from Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
I was driven towards Tamil Nationalist Party.
Yeah.
5 years after I joined, 3 years after I joined politics, because they failed to deliver. So if they can deliver, we are all about inclusive Sri Lanka. We are all about living together. We are all about one Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
But if you don't want our people to be together, so then why should I be with you?
Correct. Now, can you see any future leader, any Sinhalese leader that who may listen to the Tamil community?
Well, I don't want to mention names, but if there is no Sinhala leader who is willing to listen to the Tamil people, there is no Sinhala leader who can bring Sri Lanka out of the debt trap. There's no way Sri Lanka has a future.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to comment on if there is one person that I can see or I can't see.
Yeah.
But if there is nobody who is willing to do that, Sri Lanka has no future. Leave us aside.
But can
Tamil people or Sinhala people or Muslim people, leave us aside. There is no future for Sri Lanka if there is nobody who is going to listen to them.
Yeah, without naming names, Shanikya, but do you see any future leader that who may listen to the Tamil problems?
Well, you said, future leader. We'll have to see the future.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Coming back to the present situation, what do you think about the current situation in Sri Lanka, the economic situation?
Well, we are really facing economic crisis. We have debt payments of 5 billion per year over the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And with the budget deficit, where the budget is being debated right now, clearly we have a budget deficit, and we have no plans to fix the budget deficit. The only alternative is to go to the IMF. But if we go to the IMF, they will put very strict conditions on economic spending in Sri Lanka, which then would lead to the government being very unpopular amongst not that it's not unpopular now, but it will get even more unpopular when they don't give out freebies and goodies. So the only option is to solve the national Tamil question, and we can bring money in. I mean, we only have a debt of 35 billion. If the Tamil people's quest for our rights is solved, we can bring in 35 billion in like 5 years. That's no problem. We have so many friends and nations who are friends with the Tamil people who are willing to help. But on the promise that Sri Lanka will be a human rights respecting country. But if they fail to do that, like I just told you a little while ago, there is no future for this country. So with the economic crisis so bad, there is no way that anybody, they say Basilta mula hatak tino kino, mula hatak ne mula 70ක් තිබ්බත් ගේන්න බෑ එළියට මේක solve කරන කල්පද. That's the only way forward, So either you go to the IMF.
My understanding is that Rajapaksas want you guys to come and help them out.
We are happy to help them. I have openly said this. For us, it doesn't matter if it's a Rajapaksa or a Premadas or a Jayawardena or a Bandaranaike. For us, we want a leader who can be sensitive to our requests. and somebody can solve it. I mean, there is no reason why we are against Rajapakshas. Rajapakshas are being, there's so many fingers pointed at them towards war crimes and all that.
Yeah.
But we need to focus on the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if they've committed war crimes, let them be investigated, let them be punished.
Yeah.
But on the basis that they have committed war crimes, we can't be idling.
Yeah.
So we are happy to work with them, even if they want to, solve. If any government that can solve this problem, we are happy to support them.
Yeah, as I told you earlier, that I have listened to an interview given by Harsha De Silva today, and he was praising you and even mentioning that you and Sumandran should be working.
Who is this? Who did?
Dr. Harsha De Silva, the UN,
SJB,
yeah. So he was saying that that you were talking about the nationalistic problems more now than only about the Tamil problems. So and what he is thinking is that in a future government, that all like Sumandran, you themselves, and even the good people from Pohuttu and all that, there's all or JVP and everybody, they all should get together and form a government. What do you think about that?
Well, Dr. Harsha or whoever wants to do that need to articulate their position on the Tamil national question first.
Yeah.
If they can tell us something and if we can achieve something, then there is no look, we don't want to always be in the opposition and be opposing everything.
Yeah.
But our people have voted for us. So I never went to Batiklo and I never said that I'm going to build them roads or houses. I told them that I will ensure that I do the best within my ability to create an environment where Tamils can live in peace in this country, which is why they voted for me. So Dr. Harsha or whoever of the leaders, if they think that there is a way to form a government with all of us, first they need to articulate their position on what our issue is. We are not going to support any government unless they are happy to solve our problems. So if we were behind personal gains, if I wanted to be a minister or if I want to be a powerful person in the government, I'm sure my grandfather could have done that in 1952 when he was MP, but he refused to do that. My grandfather was MP till 1970, but his policy was that he will never take up a cabinet position or join the government unless our fundamental issues were addressed. So 70 years later, that is my position also.
Now you keep telling me about Tamil national problems. So what is your main burning problem?
The main burning problem is that there is no devolution of powers, that we are unable to exercise, our people are unable to exercise their franchise the way they want. Because in Sri Lanka, we are in numbers, we are a minority, but we are a people, we have all the rights that everybody in the world should have. As Tamil speaking people, we have all the rights. So you need to respect that, and we need to be accepted as people in this country. So, like I told you earlier, in Sri Lanka, there is room to be Sri Lankan as long as you give up your identity. So tomorrow, if I say I want to be a Sri Lankan, people will garland me and people will bless me and look after me. As long as I'm happy to live as a Sri Lankan, giving up my identity as a Tamil, I don't think that should be the case. We should be able to live as first we are Sri Lankan, then we are Tamil. So if you want us to be only Sri Lankan and not Tamil, that's not going to happen. So you need to resolve that. So we need to be seen in Tamil Nadu. People say nobody says I'm from Chennai. They say I'm Indian. Why do they say that? They say that because they are allowed to be themselves. So in Sri Lanka also, we want to say we are Sri Lankan, but as long as our political rights are respected. So if being Sri Lankan means that our political rights are not respected and we have to, live the way they want, well, that's not going to happen.
But the normal majority of the Sinhala people are saying that if the Tamil people can live in Colombo or anywhere else together with the Sinhalese and Tamils, and why do you want a separate kind of administration? So what is your answer to that?
So Sinhala people are also most welcome in the North and East. If anybody is Sinhala wants to come and live in the North and East,
Yeah.
I will help them come and settle in the North and East. There is no problem. We are not against Sinhala people. We love Sinhala people.
Yeah.
Sinhala people are a part of us.
Yeah.
In fact, my mother is Sinhala.
Right.
So we're not against the Sinhala people. We are opposed to the idea
Yeah.
of trying to artificially
Yeah.
delegitimize our identity.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have lived traditionally. So Ampara, district of Ampara,
Yeah.
was only created after 1960.
Yeah.
Landless peasants from Matra and Hambantara and Gaul were brought into Ampara and settled there.
Yeah.
Whilst Tamil people didn't have land,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's true. Everybody needs land, but if you are trying to do something artificially,
Yeah.
see the government. I heard that there's a plan to create a housing project, 500 houses a district,
Yeah.
based on the national ethic ratio.
Right.
So in Batiklo, if you give a house,
Yeah.
if they come up with the plan,
Yeah.
out of the 500 houses, 350 houses will be given to the single people.
Right.
So when there are more than 30,000 or 40,000 or 300,000 Tamil people in Batiklo with no house,
Yeah.
how can you bring in 350 people and give them houses? First, you have to give the houses for the people who are in the district.
Yeah.
So Mahavali Authority,
Yeah.
up to now, 95% of the land has been given to the single people. 1.9 to Tamil,
Yeah.
1.7 to Muslim, 1.5 to Indian Tamils.
Right.
So, but the agreement was that the Mahavali Authority gives land out based on the national ethnic ratio.
Yeah.
So, which means 25% of that land or 30% of the land should have been given to the Tamil-speaking community in this country.
Right.
So, when you have failed to do that,
Yeah.
see, that's the thing. So we are not opposed to, say, people who are in Colombo or Hambantota or Batiklo, not Batiklo, in Gampaha,
Yeah.
Tamil-speaking people.
Yeah.
There are people who came and bought a house and have settled there.
Yeah.
They're not people who've been settled there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you agree to bring 1,000 families from Batiklo, settle them in Hambantota,
Yeah.
then I'll agree to bring 1,000 families from Hambantota, settle them in Batiklo.
Right.
Then we can,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So if
Understand.
you want to bring 1,000 people from Hambantota and settle them in Batiklo,
Yeah.
but the people who have come and settled in Hambantota have done that through their own merit.
Yeah.
They've worked hard, they bought a house. If any single person wants to come and do that in Jaffna or Batiklo,
Yeah.
I will be the mediator. I'll buy them a house. I mean, rather, I'll help them buy a house.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not against the single people.
Yeah.
They are against the single government
Yeah.
that is trying to divide us.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So what do you see? What do you see the future going to be?
Well, the future is going to be very bleak unless they agree to resolve this question.
Right.
We already see hundreds of people outside passport officers
Yeah.
trying to get a visa to migrate.
Yeah.
That is not because they don't want to live in Sri Lanka. That is because they can't live in Sri Lanka because the economy is so bad.
Yes. Yes. And do you think, in the future, the Tamil people might even take up arms again?
Well, the world has moved on from the armed culture.
Yeah.
Violence is not something that we believe in.
Yeah.
So if I don't know to speak about the Tamil speaking people, but for me, I will never encourage taking arms again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Shanikian, for your time, and thank you all for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next interview. Sujeeva Nivunhella reporting from London.